In a world where the sky was a vast, ever-changing canvas of clouds and winds, there existed a land that lay beneath the dominion of the storms. Far in the mountains, hidden from the eyes of the common folk, there was a secret temple, ancient and powerful, guarded by a solitary figure known as the Storm's Keeper. The Keeper was no ordinary person. Chosen by the ancient spirits of wind and water, they had inherited the sacred responsibility to control the storms. The Keeper's powers were drawn from the heart of the sky itself, a swirling maelstrom that surged and raged with every thunderclap. With their hand, the Keeper could summon rain to nourish the crops, guide lightning to illuminate the darkest nights, and whip up winds that swept through the valleys like wild stallions. But they could also still the storms, keeping the peace when the heavens grew too wild, too violent. The Keeper had lived in solitude for many years, maintaining the delicate balance between the earth and the sky, between the forces of nature that gave life and the ones that could take it away. Their home was a high cliff where the winds were their only companions, and the great temple walls shimmered with the power of the storms. But peace, like the storms, never lasted forever. One day, as the Keeper meditated in the highest tower of the temple, a strange feeling gripped their heart. The winds no longer whispered in their familiar way. They felt disturbed. The clouds, usually peaceful companions, now twisted in unnatural shapes, swirling with a dark purpose. The sun, which had been warm and golden just moments ago, faded into an eerie grey, casting long shadows across the land. From the depths of the earth, a dark force was rising. An ancient entity, long banished to the dark caverns beneath the earth, had awakened. It was a being of shadow and malice, born from the hatred of storms themselves. It was known as the Tempest's Curse, a force that thrived on chaos, a creature whose power grew with every gust of wind and every rumble of thunder. It sought to use the storms to sow destruction, to rule the world in a reign of terror. The Keeper knew this evil force could not be allowed to seize control of the storms. If it did, all life would be at the mercy of its wrath. With the flick of a hand, the Keeper called forth the winds and made their way to the heart of the storm. But as they approached the temple's sacred threshold, they sensed the Tempest's curse was already near, its presence a cold shadow against the vibrant forces of nature. Without hesitation, the Keeper stepped into the storm. The skies above split open as if the heavens themselves were battling. Lightning struck in jagged arcs, followed by waves of thunder that shook the mountains. The Keeper stood at the edge of the storm's center, where the clouds swirled like a vast violent ocean. The air was thick with the energy of the tempest, its power crackling, almost alive. The Keeper extended their arms to the sky, their voice not one of sound but of pure will. They called upon the ancient bond between themselves and the storm, a bond forged over many generations of Keepers. The clouds began to swirl, as though answering the Keeper's command, their movements changing from chaotic to synchronized. But just as the Keeper believed they could control the storm once again, the Tempest's curse appeared before them, a shadowy figure of immense size and rage. The dark entity had taken form in the heart of the storm itself. It was a twisted, swirling mass of black clouds and jagged lightning, its eyes glowing with malice. The Keeper knew they would need more than just their control over the winds and rain. They would need the strength of the earth itself, the warmth of the sun, and the unwavering focus of the stars. They reached deeper into the core of their power, pulling on the sacred forces that bound them to the very elements. For hours the battle raged. The Tempest's curse summoned winds that tore at the Keeper's robes, lightning that sought to strike them down, and waves of rain that threatened to drown everything in sight. But the Keeper did not falter. They held firm, their hands outstretched toward the storm, calling upon the forces of nature to fight back. The wind howled around them, the thunder clashing like the sounds of 1,000 drums. And then, with a powerful cry, the Keeper summoned the heart of the storm, the eye of the tempest. A brilliant, blinding light burst from the center of the storm, a surge of pure energy that could only be harnessed by one with the Keeper's strength. The tempest's curse, caught in the brilliance of the eye, writhed and shrieked, its form flickering and faltering against the overwhelming power. The keeper pressed forward, not with force, but with purpose. The wind howled as the keeper's power grew, matching the storm's fury with a stillness that cut through the chaos. In a final, decisive motion, the keeper raised their arms high, pulling all the energy of the storm into a single, focused strike. The lightning struck down from the heavens, not in random flashes, but in a single, controlled beam of searing light. The tempest's curse screamed as it was consumed by the light, its form dissolving into the wind, its power shattered. For a long moment the storm was silent. Then, as the last remnants of darkness faded from the sky, a soft breeze began to blow. The clouds parted, and the sun broke through the storm's lingering veil, casting golden light upon the earth. The keeper stood, exhausted but victorious, their connection to the storm restored. The keeper returned to their temple, where they would remain, guarding the balance between the earth and the sky. The storm's fury was no longer a threat, but a force to be respected. And so the keeper continued to protect the world, alone yet never truly alone, always surrounded by the winds, the rains, and the calm after the storm. The legend of the storm's keeper would live on, whispered by the winds themselves, as a reminder to all that even in the darkest of storms, there is always hope, and there is always a keeper to restore the balance.